Hi everyone, welcome back to Simply Maha. On today's episode, I'm going to be recreating one of my Mexican restaurant's favorite salsa of all time. Just look at that color. It's smoky, it's charred. We got some tomatoes, jalapeños, onions. It's going to be perfect and super easy to do. One last summer recipe before we officially head over to fall. So without further ado, let's get started. I am starting with the veggies. I have one large onion. I have two halves, one yellow and one white. That's all I had in the fridge, but you're gonna need one large onion. I'm gonna break it up into little pieces here. First you want to quarter it and then break it up, and then you can get two jalapenos or one ginormous one like I have over here. And if you don't like it too spicy, what you can do is cut off the cheeks, like I like to call them. So have it like that, cut off this end, turn it around, cut off the other wall or cheek, and then leave the stem and the seeds because that is where the spice is, but I left it all over there. And you're going to need about 2 pounds or 2.5 pounds of tomatoes, which are about 5 small pieces. We have our garlic that I just put in. So I am just going to cut my tomatoes in half and put them under or above all my veggies. One thing that you have to keep in mind is using very ripe tomatoes because you want that juice. That is where all the flavor will come. If you have unjuicy tomatoes or really hard tomatoes, you're not going to get a lot of that really nice acidic flavor that the tomatoes provide. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is putting the tomatoes over all of your veggies, specifically the garlic, because we do not want that to burn. So I am just putting the garlic under my tomatoes, keeping them safe under there, giving them a good pinch of salt and good quality olive oil. That really makes a difference, about 1/4 of a cup. And then you're going to go ahead and give that a nice mix with your hand. It's okay, we're gonna go and rearrange it after we are done. And when this is roasting, the juice of the tomatoes is gonna release. It's going to mix with the olive oil. It's gonna give us such a nice flavor. And as you can see over here, I am putting my garlic under my tomatoes, and I'm putting them skin side up so that they can roast and give me a nice char and some really good dark color. Now this is going to go in the oven at 500 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes until they get cooked and very soft. Then we are going to turn on our broiler to high and place them on the lower rack because we don't want them to burn. Here you can see they have become a bit blistered after the 20 minutes on 500 degrees, but now we want the really nice deep charred color, and this is what they look like after they've been in the broiler for about 15 minutes. And now I'm just gonna turn them around so that the other side can get a nice color. You don't want all of it to be charred. This color is good. Just getting a little bit more on the other side. Be careful, you don't want the tips of your onions to burn too much or else it's gonna start to taste bitter. And over here I want to show you the garlic because we placed it under the tomatoes. You see how soft it is, but it has not burned at all. And you can see that the tomatoes have released a lot of juice, which also is going to provide us with a lot of good flavor. So back in under the broiler until it is nice and charred. Now, after an additional 5 to 8 minutes under the broiler, I'm going to take them out and I'm going to cover them with foil and leave it to rest for about 10 minutes. This is going to do two things. First, we want this to cool down because if we put really hot items in our food processor, it can ruin it, it can explode, the glass can crack. Two, if you have any large pieces of onion that have not had the time to soften, this will create a steaming effect and it will cook out all the onion or large pieces of veggies that have not had a chance to cook. So leave that aside for 10 minutes and then we will place it in our food processor with all our little fixins. I have 1 tablespoon of oregano. By the way, all the list of ingredients and measurements will be down in the description. I have the juice of 1 lime. You can always adjust the lemon, the lime, the salt after it has been mixed. For now, just 1 lime. Adding a little bit more salt. Remember, we did salt these in the beginning, so don't add too much. I have 1/4 of a cup of cilantro. And now turning on my food processor and pulsing it to the desired texture. You can go as soft or as chunky as you want. I like it somewhere in the middle. It really does not take a long time at all. As you can see, that took a few seconds. And you have the perfectly medium-sized salsa. I don't like it too chunky, but I don't like it too smooth. This was just perfect for me. Now, here's how you can go a step up. You can add 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke, or instead of the jalapeno, you can add 2 chipotle peppers in adobo sauce to really intensify that smoky flavor. However, I like the subtle char flavor from just roasting them under the broiler. Give it a nice taste. I decided that it did not need any more salt or lemon. It was good to go. Serve it up with some chips, and here you have it. Really easy recipe. Now, this gets better the more it stays in the fridge. So if you want, make this a day before, make it a couple hours before. Or another really creative idea, put this in your slow cooker with 1 chicken breast, and you have yourself some slow cooked chicken. You want to put that on high in your slow cooker for 4 hours with the salsa. It'll be amazing. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I will see you next time on Simply Maha, where we are simple but never basic.